This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Hear that? That's now Crispy and McCrispy strips meeting Creamy Caesar sauce. Sounds extra crispy. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
They were old enough to join Little League.
Were you able to do that?
No,
Why?
because I was a girl. So they helped me figure out that it would be a good idea for me to take my long hair and put it underneath my baseball cap.
Oh, stop it.
So I went, and I was a great pitcher. So I tried out for pitcher.
With your hair tucked up
with
so
my
they thought
hair
you were a
tucked
boy.
up, yep. And I made the tryouts.
Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating. Year after year through the rain and the sun, learning that faith is what makes us strong.
The kick is up, and the kick is good afternoon, and welcome back to the Superfan Diaries. I'm your host, J.R. Green, recording from our studios on Broadway in downtown Nash Vegas, bringing you the biggest sports, the biggest moments, and the biggest fans, celebrating passionate sports figures and their unique stories. Yes, legends. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share your own game day traditions or stories online. Today, oh yes, today, we have a legendary songwriter in the house. I'm J.R. Green. And this is a story about a little girl from Chattanooga, Tennessee, who fell in love with baseball, and because of that love, ended up changing country music forever. She collected cards. She had her teams. But Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris were her guys. And somewhere between watching those two play at Yankee Stadium and sitting down at a piano in Nashville, a career was born. Grammy-nominated songwriter, #1 hit, songs recorded by Martina, McBride, Lee Greenwood, Restless Heart, Patti Loveless, Crystal Gale, and Peter Cetera. She wrote I'll Still Be Loving You. #1 on the country chart. She wrote Safe Arms of Love, Martina McBride, and many more. And she is writing her memoirs right now with an entire chapter dedicated to how baseball put her on the path to all of it. Ladies and gentlemen, Pam Rose. Welcome to the show, Pam.
Thank you, JR. It's great to be here.
All right, let's get right back to the facts. Chattanooga, Tennessee. And not the Chattanooga Choo-Choo, which is also famous.
Correct.
Chattanooga, Tennessee, a little girl who loves baseball. Who handed you that love? Was that a family thing?
You know, I do not remember how I discovered baseball, but when I was 9, I just fell in love with it. Oh, wait a minute. I do remember now. Okay, so I had 3 best friends, and they were all young boys my age.
Okay. How old were you at the time?
I was 9, I think.
Okay, yep.
And so this is in Florida. I grew up in the shadow of the Rockets, and so it was hot as hell, but we didn't care. And so they taught me about baseball and said, come on, let's just play. And so out in the street, there was a crack in the asphalt. That was home plate. And then there was a water meter, up to the right. That was first base. Yep. Water meter on the left. That was third base. And then we put a rock, straight out from home plate.
A water
That
meter
was
does not make it
second
easy to
base.
slide into. Okay, that's a
No.
legit.
It's bad. It's bad. Well, you don't slide into first, so that's good. Now, third base, that's a different story.
Yep.
But so that is how I got into baseball, and I just loved it. And there were only 4 of us, and every once in a while, other people. But I learned all the rules. I became a freak about it. I just, I learned everything I could about it. And I remember one time when we went to visit my grandparents in Houston, again, hot as hell.
Yep.
There was a
Another hot
field
city.
outside. Oh, there was a field out, just beside their house. And at that point, I got a tape measure. And I was by myself. My brothers weren't interested.
Yep.
And so I measured off the length of all the bases and, from home plate to the pitcher's mound. And, I was real methodical about it. And I just remember I went, I'm by myself, but still I love baseball, so I'm going to do whatever I can. So I create a little baseball field. out there. And
All right.
those guys ended up getting me in trouble, which we'll get to.
All right. I have no doubt. Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Yogi Berra. You said Mickey and Roger were your guys.
Yep.
What was it about those two specifically?
Well, they were just big. They were stars,
superstars.
and I mean, they were going to. And in '61, Roger Maris was going to break Babe Ruth's record, and so.
What do you remember about that summer? I mean, it's 1961. What do you remember about that? I mean, that was a big deal.
That was a really big deal, and before that, Mickey and Roger had been battling for home run favor, but Mickey got injured, and so. Roger was the most likely to break Babe's record. And I remember being in school and I had long hair and we were forbidden to listen to our radios
during class. Just like kids are forbidden from being on iPhones during class.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got this little earpiece and I ran it down my hair and down into and I had my transistor radio in my pocket, had it hidden.
This is in 1961.
Yeah, this is, and I did not want to miss that game where Roger could break Babe Ruth's record.
I was trying to think through what it looked like. I mean, I was in the late 70s kid, and I'm trying to think through you're pretty, I mean, that's like advanced technology.
But I grew up at the Space Center. My dad's an engineer. He worked at the Space Center. So we were
how did you get your hands
we
on
were
this
high
stuff?
tech.
Wow.
Everybody there was as high tech as you could get because that was as high tech in the world as you could get.
That's Apple before Apple became Apple.
Exactly. And so I thought I was so cool. I'm listening to my transistor radio and he comes up to bat, and he hits the ball that's going to be that home run. And I went, yes, and blew my cover. And they took my transistor radio away. Yeah, I outed myself.
But you heard it.
I
got
did.
to hear the home run.
I did. I heard the crack of the
again?
bat.
Is it 5?
61.
That's right. How do I forget that?
61 and 61.
Yeah, 61 and 61.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you said you collected some cards.
Oh, I
You did trading cards. You and your friends that got you in trouble with the water meters. These are from 1960. Do you still have any of those cards? And if you do, are any worth $1 million?
I have been looking for those cards for decades because I think one of my brothers got industrious at my parents' house and might have thrown them away.
No.
I can't find them. I can't find. They would be. They would be. I mean,
that hurts.
There's some of them that were $50,000, just one of them.
Yes.
But c'est la vie.
I know. So many people have
Easy
those.
come, easy go.
The only crazy story I know of is that our neighbors in Knoxville, Tennessee, were tearing down a wall between two rooms. And when they tore off the piece, the construction crew found an envelope inside that clearly the dad had hid them from his son because he was just hid them. We're talking about cards worth thousands and thousands of dollars because the dad was upset. You could tell, this is like way back in the day, he hid them from his son in the wall of the house.
Oh, my God.
And then forgot about them. And then 50, 60 years later, someone's doing construction. It could have been damaged had they, but they weren't. They were preserved. And I can't remember how they distributed them, but it was a big story around all our friends.
Yeah. I mean, those cards would be worth a lot of money right now.
Yankees. You fell in love with the Yankees.
I did.
They were the superstar team.
I did.
There is an entire chapter in your upcoming memoir about how your love of baseball led you to music. Without giving the whole chapter away, how on earth does Yankees baseball merge with country music?
Well, my pals, we kept playing baseball.
Those 9-year-old pals.
So interesting. And then, through the, I can't remember the exact year, but, then all of a sudden they had a chance. They were old enough to join Little League to go try out for Little League.
Were you able to do that?
No.
Why?
Because I was a girl. Okay. So I went, oh, wow. And they, to their credit, they helped me figure out that it would be a good idea for me to take my long hair and put it underneath my baseball cap.
Oh, stop it. You're being Mulan. You're just Mulan right here next to me.
I'm serious. This is true. So I went and I was a great pitcher. So I tried out for pitcher.
With your hair tucked up,
With
so
my
they thought
hair
you were a
tucked
boy.
up, yep. And I made the tryouts for pitcher.
Because you're an athlete. You've been playing with him for a while.
Yeah, because, you know, I
and
was
by the way,
good.
you can absolutely, if you go back and look at the Little League Championship, as we have a team, Goodlettsville, who's been to there multiple times, and Nolensville as well.
Yeah.
I think a couple of teams have had girls on the team, so up to the age of 12, I think girls are able to play in baseball, because that's Little League.
They are now.
Okay.
They weren't
no
then.
chance. Okay.
No, that was before anything. We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, we'll
for
get to
sure,
that.
because that's a good discussion in itself. But so I was fast, and so I always batted first,
And you could throw a bean basketball.
and I could throw really a good fastball, you know, and so I got a nice hit, and I was this is maybe 2 games into the season.
Yeah.
And I got a really nice hit. Rounded first, rounded second, my hat flew off.
Oh, darn it. Stop it. Pam.
Shoot.
Shoot fire.
I know.
What'd your mom and dad say?
Well, that was it. I don't even know if they knew.
I love these
because
moments
I
you have.
snuck around. You know,
Yeah.
they wouldn't, we were strict fundamental Southern Baptists, so I don't,
This is
I
in the
figured
60s.
if it's fun, I'm
in the
probably not
60s.
allowed to do it, at that point. So I never told them, I don't think.
And the
But
coach just said, Pam,
you're out,
what was your name on the team before you were Pam?
Pat.
Of course it was Pat. Why would it be anything other than Pat? That is so good, folks. That's
So I was just so distraught.
Yep.
I mean, I was really distraught, and now I do remember telling my mother. I said, "Look, I want to be Willie Mays.
Yeah, why not?
I was stricken with him too.
fast. Steal
my
bases.
my favorites moved around, and she was just like, "Well, you just can't do that. You can't.
Well, 60s.
You just
Pam,
can't
that's
do
the
it."
60s.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
This is before Title IX.
Yep.
And this is before the 1974 congressional
I
ruling.
mean, Beat the Clock was the #1 game show on television back then. Okay, so yeah, I remember watching some of these old episodes of Beat the Clock. All right, folks, that's the end of the first inning. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Nashville, the songs, the Grammy nominations, Martina McBride, Restless Heart, Lee Greenwood, and how a girl from Chattanooga who loved Mickey Mantle ended up writing some of the most beloved country songs over the last 40 years. We'll be right back.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Hear that? That's now Crispy and McCrispy strips meeting creamy Caesar sauce. Sounds extra crispy. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating.
Welcome back. We are here with Pam Rose, Grammy-nominated songwriter and Yankees superfan. Pam, let's talk about Nash Vegas. You started your career as a solo artist in 1977. What did Nashville look like when you arrived, and what was it like trying to break through?
Well, it looks so different than it does now. I mean, you can't even believe it. There was one good restaurant. It was the Peddler Steakhouse, and there was Mario's, and there was a French restaurant.
Mario's has been around. I think it just closed this year.
Is that right?
Yes, something
Oh my gosh!
forever. Oh, it was very sad.
Wow, very sad. But it was just a little cow town, really. I mean, it was, and I had come from Atlanta, which is a huge city,
That's a monster.
very cosmopolitan, very diverse, and so this was really an adjustment to get here. And I didn't really know anything about country music. I didn't.
You're an athlete, have NASA background.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to play baseball. Did any of those skill sets help you moving into this new arena?
Well, not really, because this was a whole other ball game.
Yeah.
Getting into the music business was really something else. It was all terms I didn't know about. It was all producer, writer. I didn't know that writing could be a profession on its own.
But there are similarities. The one thing I would think about when I think about athletes, and I think about sports.
Yeah.
The one thing you've noticed is that individuals who are usually the best athletes will emerge.
Yeah.
You got to play baseball in Little League,
I did.
not illegally, but against
Right.
the cultural terms,
Right.
because you were a talent.
Well-
You had to try out and you made it.
Yeah.
I think music's similar. I mean, you've got to have certain skill sets
You do.
to
I mean,
rise
you
to the
gotta be
top
really
of the top
good.
of the top. Yeah, I mean, people that we know of, household name, Martina McBride, she isn't average. There's nothing average about her.
No.
And so it's kind of like there is call it some type of similarity in the fields, and you merged them both in your
here's a
mind.
similarity. It's competitive. It's competitive, and so I am competitive, but in the music business, I would compete against myself. Really, not my fellow writers, and not my that Nashville's different like that. We
Like
don't.
golf.
We don't really like beat each other up or
Really?
not directly. No, we're very supportive of each other, but I know that if I don't compete against the last song I wrote, I'm not going to be better.
Okay.
So it's not about just writing well. It's like you got every day. Some part of you has to say, I have got to be the best that I have ever been.
Right.
Ever. And that same is true as being an artist on stage. It's like I don't go out there to just play that night.
Right.
I want to do better than I've ever done. So that's a competition with myself. That's that's how that played out for me. But when I got kicked off the team, I was distraught, and it wasn't too long from then that my cousin is a distant cousin who was very, very close to me, probably the most important person in my life. One summer, he just had a guitar, and he said, "Look what I found."
Yeah.
He says, "Here's the guitar. Put it in your lap. Do your hands like this and sing." And I went, "Oh."
You were able to actually play the chords.
Yeah, because he showed me how to do it. And so that's how it started. And that's, what I've read a lot since. My brother my brother's a Gulfstream pilot. He flew Julio Iglesias for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And Julio, did you know that he was a soccer
I'm not
guy?
surprised. I'm not surprised.
He was gonna, he had to, had plans. That was going to be his profession.
Yep.
And he was in a car accident and got laid up.
And moved into music?
Well, when he was in the hospital, somebody gave him a guitar. Same kind of thing. It's like the one door closes.
The window opens.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how Julio became a singer.
That is fascinating. Mm-hmm. All right, you spent years collaborating. I'm going to jump real quick. With Mary Ann Kennedy.
Yes.
And Calamity Jane, and then Kennedy Rose. Mm-hmm. What does a great songwriting partnership actually feel like? And what did Mary Ann bring out in you that you didn't find on your own?
Well, Mary Ann has a sense of commerciality and of fashion and of what people. She just has an inherent ability to go, this is what people will relate to right now.
And she knows. She has that
She
feel.
just has a feel about it. And she has a commercial sense that I didn't have when I first started working with her. I'm more chord woman. I was raised on classical. I was raised on the Beatles. And so, mine was off to the left a little bit, and she was over to the right. But the synthesis of what we had together was really great because she had the commercial. I had the, more subliminal musical things that make people feel all these different things. The chords to Ring on Her Finger, for instance, the chords to I'll Still Be Loving You. Those are what I bring to the table, which are different than other songs. In both of those examples, the chordal structure hadn't been done on country music.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of what my reach to the left of musical chord structures. That's what I brought, and Mary Ann brought, no, that you can't use that. You can use these chords, Pam, that you've brought up, but there was tons of chords that I couldn't use. You know,
But clearly that, I would say the teamwork you had from
Yeah.
being in Little League allowed you to work with someone like that.
it is teamwork. It's collaboration.
That is unbelievable collaboration and
yeah.
lack of an ego. You got to take
Yeah.
the ego subset.
Yeah, you really do. And beyond that, in Marianne's and my partnership, and we wrote with lyricist Pat Bunch
Yep.
and Don Goodman in both of these situations. It was a different kind of teamwork, which I think it translates to sports. It's like there's not compromise. It's synergy.
Yeah.
It's like with Marianne and I, for instance, 1 + 1 is more than 1 because we didn't compromise. We stayed at it until we both were ecstatically happy. That's a hard-fought battle sometimes. It's like you don't give up. You go, okay, and you don't give in. You just keep
Until you
going.
got it. I mean, but you think about these hits right out of the gates. Some of these songs, "I'll Still Be Loving You," #1 for Restless Heart, Grammy-nominated. Walk me through this one.
Well,
I listened to it, by the way, yesterday. I had to make sure to kind of revisit it. And of course, the best part about listening to your songs, Pam, is they all come back to you, and you remember listening to
you.
them. You know the songs.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, with "I'll Still Be Loving You," that was again another search for the perfect chord, a good feeling. You know, I feel like, you know,
I know, it's
changing my life. That chord, the one on life, that just to me, when I hit that chord, it was like, ooh, that just has a feel.
And you felt it. You could feel it. You knew it.
Yeah, we all felt it in the room.
Well, we feel it when we listen to it.
Yeah, and it took a year to write that because we couldn't get the lyric to feel as unique as that chord change.
I'll still be in love.
Yeah. So we had some of it.
So that took a year to get the chorus. I obviously now know.
It
and
took a
everyone knows.
year. It took a year to get all of the lyric because all of the lyric. That's what I mean about not giving up and going to your
That's
all
brutal,
happy.
by the way. That's brutal.
It's brutal. It's brutal. I mean, we didn't do it every day, but still, it's like that's not it. That's not it. We got to keep
But
going.
then you did it, and then you have a
But
#1
then,
song.
Yeah, and so that was the.
All right.
We just fought for it.
All right, what about "Safe in the Arms of Love" by Martina McBride? How long did that one take?
That one didn't take as long because Pat had a lot of those lyrics. She had pages and pages and pages and pages of lyrics, and we just went through and went, okay, this, and then you know the structure was different, and Marianne and I did the music.
But how do you get Martina McBride into this? Like, how did you get her to be the one that's saying your music?
Well, we had a friend named Paul Worley who recorded. He was the producer for Martina. Actually, he had recorded "Safe in the Arms" another time,
Okay.
and just came to us and he said, you know I've loved "Safe in the Arms," and
The voice hit him.
I just recorded it for Martina. So he asked us to come in and sing on it, and that's Marianne playing mandolin, and Marianne and I singing the vocals on that, which, we had already started singing on some of Martina's records. That's Marianne and I are singing on Independence Day of hers, of Martina's.
So she already knew who you were.
The Gretchen Peters
so there's a
song.
relationship
yeah,
that's
sure.
already built.
Yeah, we met Martina when nobody knew who she was. I think we sang on "My Baby Knows Me." Well, gosh, I can't remember it right now. It was her first hit, I think.
Oh my gosh.
"My Baby Loves Me the Way That I Am."
All right.
Is
what,
that it?
all right,
Yeah.
What about "Ring on Her Finger, Time on Her Hands"?
Oh.
Reba McEntire. I mean, this is another one. How do you get in the hands of Reba and Lee Greenwood? But Reba's like, that's big time.
Well, we didn't have anything to do with Reba recording.
Lee Greenwood's "1 on July 4th, though. I can tell you that. There's no one bigger than him. But
That's
he wins July
true.
4th. But after that, I'd give you Reba the next award.
Well, absolutely. So "Ring on Her Finger" was really the first song that Marianne and I got recorded. And so,
You're hitting it out of the park, aren't you?
yeah, and Dawn, we had been writing with Dawn for a little bit, and the three of us just had a really great combination. And so again, I'm looking for different chords, and if you listen, and you'll see that those are kind of a little bit different than other country songs were at that point.
Yes.
And Marianne was great with the melody, and Don was with the lyric. He said, "She stood before God, her family and friends, and vowed that she'd never love anyone else again, only me."
Yeah.
So that was and so empathy was unique at that time. Country songs did not have that.
And you nailed it. And did you do the same, you think, with Faithfully with Chuck Jones? I mean,
oh, that was great. That was the first song Chuck and I wrote.
Okay, but
yeah, and then a friend of ours, knew that Peter was coming to town to record, and so
just so randomly, they just knew he was coming to town to record, and you got the music to him.
Yeah,
God,
I think so. Well, Mark Beeson, I think he had a song recorded on Peter's record, and he said, "Listen, there's a song that you guys need to hear," and so Peter recorded it, and Chuck and I are singing on the record, and I'm really proud of that record. That was just awesome. I'm Peter Cetera. Come on.
I mean, exactly.
Singing one of your songs? That's awesome.
All right. Well, it's now time for the Desert Fan Island. Everyone loves this segment of the show. Pam Rose, you're stranded in the Ryman. Desert Island in the Ryman. You get one movie, one music artist, one food, one drink, one person to be with. Number one, what movie are you going to have on loop?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, there's so many movies.
Got to pick one. It's hard. That's what makes it so hard, Pam.
Movies. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I think it has to be The Last Temptation of the Christ.
Well, that's a heavy film.
It's a heavy film.
That's a very
You could
heavy
listen
film.
to it you could watch it forever.
But that's the one. It's like someone actually told me Ben-Hur, and I think someone else picked another one of these like 4-hour films. No one said the Titanic yet, but at least they've given me those. All right. One musical artist.
Well, I would pick Sting.
Oh, 'cause you know what? You know one of the best parts about Sting that I love is the fact that I want my MTV. Nobody, at first glance, people don't know that's Sting.
I know.
And that is the part about that I love him is that, you begin to realize that he's the one that does a lot of that song that so many people in the 80s love. But good choice. All right, one food.
Pizza.
Can't go wrong. Drink.
Oh, a Breve latte.
Oh, that's a good choice. All right, you get one person who's going to be out there with you.
Okay, that's so hard. That's just so hard.
I know. It's not fair. It's just not fair.
I think it would have to be Einstein.
That's a darn good choice. As Abraham Lincoln said, never go into a room where you're the smartest person in there. And if you do, get out as fast as possible. So by having Einstein in there, you're only going to get smarter every day. All right. Next question, bonus question. You get one Yankees legend to join you on the island. Mickey or Roger?
I think it would have to be Mickey.
I thought you picked Roger because of the home run, and you're in the class. You were in the classroom. 61.
I know, but Mickey seems more complex. His personality seemed more complex. I don't know if that's true, but that's how it appeared to me. And I love complex personalities.
All right. Well, speaking of complex personalities, this just happened recently. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, they get married. Just this past weekend. If you were invited, what do you look most forward to seeing in Madison Square Garden that night? Legendary arena, and there happens to be a wedding. What do you get? What's one thing you'd just be very interested in seeing when you're there?
Their first kiss.
I love asking this to different people to say, what do you want to see differently? Some people are like, I want to see the ceiling. I want to see the roof. I want to see the floor, Madison Square Garden, the floor, all that. No. Pam Rose says first kiss, and I don't think we can get better than that.
I've been in Madison Square Garden.
You're like, I've been there. Check the box.
Kiss is
Give me the
much
first
more
kiss.
interesting, yeah.
Quick break. Go find Pam Rose's catalog on streaming right now, and we're coming right back with the Buzzer Beater.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Hear that? That's now Crispy and McCrispy strips meeting creamy Caesar sauce. Sounds extra crispy. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating.
And we're back with the legendary Pam Rose, the award-winning music writer and huge Yankees fan. Pam, you're now writing your memoirs. That is a huge undertaking.
It is.
Sitting down and looking back on an entire life of career, what has surprised you most about the process?
That I have a really good memory. That's one thing.
Very fortunate.
That's one thing. And then, you know, I have done some really fun things. I have some great stories. And I kind of knew that, but actually sitting down and recalling them all and being able to recall the details, for which I'm grateful. A lot of people don't have that access to those finer details of memory. Yep. So being able to tell these stories is just great because, you know, I've performed at the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean,
how many people get to say that on a show?
I mean, that's probably my biggest scrapbook memory, I gotta say. You know, but then I've toured with Sting, so that's another one.
Yes.
So being able to tell these stories and being able to just, you know, talk about how I got into songwriting and the process and then I've done a whole other, you know, group of events in my life that have to do with the peace process and with an organization called Interdependence Day. And so I've gone to Istanbul, I've gone to Berlin, I've gone to Moscow, I've gone to, you know, I've done a whole lot of traveling for these special events where people are gathered from all over the world in different countries, and it's kind of like a think tank, but it's more of a conference.
Wow.
And they talk about all these things. It's like my brain just is like trying to absorb all these things. If, you know, again, really smart people. I'm the entertainment. You know, I'm not near.
Yeah. That's why you chose Einstein earlier.
It is, yeah, yeah, because I wouldn't be bored. I'd be, you know, I could ask my questions until the cows came home.
Well, that's a great answer in terms of the process. All right, you did say there's a baseball chapter that's going to be coming in the memoir. But before we jump into that, because I want to jump into the detail of that chapter, because it's so, we've already talked through it, which I'm going to agree with you in terms of what I'll call the similarities and how they collaborate. But during our green room discussion, you mentioned something, and I want to get this right, pretty special. A future women's baseball league, that's right. As you all remember, in 1943, the All-American Professional Baseball League was made famous by the movie A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks and Gina Davis, mostly probably known for, there's no crying in baseball. Now, 72 years later, by the way, there's a lot of crying in World Cup. Okay? There may be not crying in baseball, but there is crying in soccer because every game we watch, half the stadium and half the players are crying and half are in jubilation. But jumping back to baseball, 72 years later, it's now called the WPBL, Women's Pro Baseball League. Tell us about this, Pam.
Well, this is amazing because, you know, like we were talking, A League of Their Own is just like one of my favorite movies. I can't get through it without
a lot
crying.
of people's favorite movies.
And by the way, there's crying in all sports because they just may not show it.
We all know.
But, you know, it's emotional. It's emotional. And so A League of Their Own, you know, that league was established in 1943 when a lot of men were drafted for World War II.
Yes.
And so the attendance was down in these towns, so they, you know, people wanted more entertainment, so they let women play, and they had a baseball league. There was a chewing gum magnate that started it.
Of course.
And so it drew a lot of people. I mean, probably, I think it was 900,000 people, you know, in over a few years' time. It was really, really popular. But in 1954, it disbanded because the men had come back home. There's TV broadcasts now, and they could focus on the Major League Baseball.
Yep.
So, you know, there was a few fits and starts trying to get women back into into baseball. But now, on August 1st, it's the Women's Pro Baseball League is having their first game in Springfield, Illinois.
Oh, wow. I mean,
This is awesome.
The power of it goes back to so many girls that I know, including my daughter, who played baseball. So, like, when you're younger, she doesn't have an option, okay? Because you just get right out the gates. You get in the baseball league because that's convenient.
Yeah.
And then at a certain age, 12 or 11, you have to switch to softball. What do you think the difference is going to be between softball and baseball with both women having pro league in both? Because there's an ultimate, I think it's called Ultimate Athletes is the name of the brand for women's professional softball. So now you got professional baseball. Take me through that. Men don't have softball. Well, they do when they're like 70 years old and they're playing in their old buddy league. They do.
And I just have to say, I don't know one woman that wasn't mad as hell when they said you have to switch to softball. Yeah. It's like I was. It was like, are you serious?
Well, that's why you wore a hat and you hit
Well,
it.
and you know, I'm an audio person. I'm an audio person. I want the crack of the bat. You can't have that with a softball. You just can't. And it's big. I'm small. So the baseball, you know, like I tried out for Little League pitcher, the baseball fit perfectly in my hand.
You're right. It's just easy.
And then it's like you go to softball, and it's like either slow pitch or fast pitch. I chose fast pitch because you could steal. I switched over to second base.
Yep.
Was great with double plays, you know. But you can't steal in slow pitch. So I don't know. That's a long answer to your question that I didn't really even answer, isn't it?
No, you did, though. You did. I mean, I think the biggest part about it is fascinating in how I don't even know how softball got created. Like, why would they create a bigger ball? We've got a softball. We've got it here in our office, too, right behind you. So we've got a giant.
I do not know.
It's huge for women that have smaller hands than men.
I wonder if it was for younger people so that they didn't get hurt.
So it's easier to throw.
I don't know. I'm gonna get back
girls,
to you.
They wear giant masks on the pitching mound, which means you could get hurt.
They do?
Yes, all the women in softball have to wear a mask. They wear, if you watch any of the games, they all wear a protective covering, the catcher and the pitcher.
I could have used one of those.
Pam, I'm sure whatever it did, it made you only better.
I've gotten hit a bunch of times.
Thinking about these memoirs that are going to be teaching a lot of people about something special, when younger songwriters come to Nashville today, especially women, what do you tell them that nobody told you when you were starting out?
Trust yourself.
Okay.
Trust yourself. Use your own compass. Don't get swayed by people telling you that you're not good. Don't go for that, because I kind of got off the track when I came here. I was very secure, and then, because I didn't know the ropes in the music business, there was a time where I let somebody else say, "Well, that's not good," or "This is not." But
your gut
had I
told you, your gut told you.
my gut told me, stay with your gut.
So many people hear this, but they don't do it. Because you can be influenced by other parts.
Everything.
And sometimes we think our gut's wrong. It happens to me every day. And I'm like, no, because everyone deep down, Pam, lacks self-confidence, right? At some point, we think we're fake or we don't belong, or I forgot what the name of the syndrome is, but like
imposter
it's
syndrome.
the imposter. I hate that darn thing.
I know.
And then it's like, no, I'm not any good, or this. And the reality is you are. You do have the skill sets.
Yeah.
And it just takes a lot for that to come out. So I'm looking forward to that in your memoir. But it's now time for the buzzer beaters. That's right, buzzer beater rapid fire. All right, Pam, quick answers. Don't overthink it. Let's go. Number one, you've already answered it, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit here. Pick one current Yankees player, your favorite.
Oh, I'm going to hear buzzers on this one.
Buzzers?
I don't know. I don't.
There's so many.
I know there's so many. So you're going to have to just give me the buzzer.
I love the buzzer.
I hear it.
Best baseball game you've ever watched.
Oh, my goodness.
I want to steal and just tell. I don't want to take
man.
your answer, but that 1961 of you being
that
in the
was
classroom
awesome.
is so cool.
It was awesome. I listened to it, but I
But you
could
didn't watch
see
it.
it.
I need you to tell us.
No.
What'd you watch?
But
Black and white. It probably was black and white on television. And,
no, it was a World Series game, and I don't recall.
And it was Yankees were in it.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
All right. Favorite song you've ever written? The one that means the most to you personally.
I'd say I'll Still Be Loving You.
Yeah. How could you not? How could you not? Because I'm like, every time you say it, it hits my mind and I start thinking about it. Chattanooga or Nashville? Which city made you?
Nashville did.
But Chattanooga got you the backbone before you moved to Houston.
I know. Well, but I lived in Atlanta too.
Okay.
So, and I lived in Florida. And I went to school in Tallahassee. But Nashville. I mean,
did make
Nashville was the hardest. And
right.
sometimes the hardest lessons are the best ones.
That's a great one-liner. If you had to play one of your songs at a Yankees game before the first pitch, of all the songs you've been involved with, co-written, written, which one fits best?
If I Fly.
Well, it was so fast. You had no prep either. That's good, Pam. Best baseball movie ever made?
A League of Their Own.
It's so set up. Your memoir, when does it come out, and what is the title?
We're not sure exactly when it's. I'm still writing it, so
fair.
and there's a lot of things.
Takes a long time to write a book,
it
Pam.
It does. I've never done it before.
Excruciating.
You're right. You're right about that. But I do have a title. It's called Sovereign Witness.
That's deep. I mean, you're going to sovereign immediately takes me to a very intelligent level, sovereign, and then witness.
And the subtitle is Tales of a Traveler in Story and Song.
Story and song.
So chapter, song, chapter, song, chapter, song.
What a great title. I have an alter ego. I'm known sometimes by a very small number of people, but as the Big Orange Tux guy for a crazy Tennessee Vol super fan.
Yeah.
What's your alter ego?
Oh, let's see. It's one I left on the baseball field a lot. Pat. Probably.
Pat, you can't do better than that. I love Pat. I love Pat. It's too good. Where can our listeners find more about your music and you personally?
PamRose.com, PamRosemusic.com. Don't go to PamelaRose.com because she's an exotic dancer.
I knew you were going to say
France.
that. As soon as you said don't go, I was like, she's going to take me to a porn star. I know there's another
you can,
Pamela.
But, whatever.
It's such a great name. It's such a great name.
PamRose.com,
Or
Pam
Pat.
Rose Music.
You could or Pat, just go, Pat. Pam, you were a little girl in Chattanooga with a Yankees pennant and a shoebox full of very valuable baseball cards. Mickey was your guy, Roger was your guy, and somehow that love of the game put you on a path to Nashville that changed country music forever. Songs recorded by some of the greatest voices this business has ever known. Grammy nominations, #1 hits, and now a memoir with an elite chapter about a little girl's love of baseball became the foundation of a life in music. You remind all of us, fans, athletes, musicians, that the things we love when we are young never really leave us. They just show up in everything we make. This is the Superfan Diaries. I'm J.R. Green. Find Pam Rose's music on all streaming platforms, links in the show notes. And now, follow, review, and nominate your favorite Superfan at superfandiaries.com. And remember, if you make one person smile today, you've had a great day. Make them laugh even better. Go get them!
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 45% off with minimum purchase, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
Hello.
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together, we have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.